Hey guys, it's Pawn Checkmate here, and today I just wanted to go over 5 basic checkmate patterns for beginners. The first checkmate pattern we have here is a double queen ladder mate, and basically what you do in this mate is you bring your queens together and they protect each other, so this king cannot take. The king has to keep moving backward as these files are totally cut off, so the king can never enter in any of these squares. And then you just keep shuffling him down the board, as once again these are closed files he can't enter. You just keep going until he runs on the edge of the board and it's checkmate and we win. Another example of this is if you were to have a queen and a rook. It's a little bit different. You have to move into a position where your queen defends your rook, but if the king gets close, your queen cannot be taken. So it's a king here, rook, king here, rook, queen check, king here. We keep giving checks, and the king cannot take because your rook is defended. Once again, these files are all closed. This king can never enter back. You just keep going until it's checkmate on the edge of the board. The second checkmate we have here is a double rook checkmate. This is very similar to the queen ladder checkmates we just looked at, except as you're moving the king down, you can't play something like this, because now your rook isn't defended and he can take. So instead, what you have to do is if the king ever gets close to your rook, just move it away, far away from the king. And the king has to keep moving. Once again, you can't go here, because then the king could just take. So instead, we go down. King keeps moving. We bring him down to the edge of the board until it is checkmate. The third checkmate is the king and queen checkmate. For this checkmate, what you have to do first is bring your queen to a square where this queen would be in a knight opposition, which means if this queen was a knight, this would be a check on the black king. What this does is it closes off all the squares that this king can go to, so it can't go to any of these squares. So let's say it has to go back, and we copy the move. So king goes here, our queen's going to repeat, it's going to go there. Here, once again copying the moves, and then we keep going until we're on this area here, where the king is on the last rank, and it only has these 2 squares to go to. From there, as the king keeps going between these 2 squares, we bring our king up, until our king protects our queen, and it's checkmate, because the king has no squares to go to. And if you're wondering why we couldn't play something like this here, that's actually a draw, because black has no squares that it can go to, and our queen makes it a stalemate, which is a draw. The fourth checkmate is the king and rook checkmate. To start this checkmate, move your rook to a position where it blocks off a whole file and it cannot be taken by the enemy king. Once the enemy king starts to move, we follow it until eventually our kings get into a position where they face each other. Then you can give a check attacking this king, and it cannot go to any of these 3 squares since they are blocked off by their king. So it has to go back, and we're going to follow him. And we'll keep following until eventually, let's say he attacks our rook. Then you just move it, which still keeps this whole file blocked. Here, here, here. Our kings face each other now again. So we can give a check. Can't go to any of these 3 squares, so he has to go back. We're going to follow. And there's another check. Has to go back, and we repeat this sequence. until it's checkmate, as these 3 squares are blocked off and the king is attacked. The 5th and final checkmate is the back rank checkmate. In this checkmate, you have a piece such as a rook or a queen that goes all the way to the back rank to deliver checkmate on the opposing king, who is usually blocked in by his own pieces. This checkmate can involve sacrifices where your pieces are lined up in a battery, where I will show you in the next example. In this example, you can sacrifice the queen, force to take, and then you trade the rooks, and this is checkmate. And black might have thought they were protecting themselves with this move, but our bishop actually blocks these squares. So this is a back rank checkmate. And now I'll show you how to defend against back rank checkmate. What you have to do is get your pieces in a position where they defend the squares that the rooks could travel to deliver checkmate, or what you could play is give yourself an escape square for your king. Or this also works, because if you were to play something like this, they could play this, and now this bishop opens up an attack. So that's how you defend against back rank checkmate. And lastly, I would really appreciate if you could like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm, especially because I'm a small creator. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.